At some point in time, you have to decide, are you going to just do it the best you can or not? There are things that are imbued with a certain story, a certain passion, by virtue of the passion and dedication of the craftsmen that build it. There are just any number of things which, if you were to look at them individually, you'd say, oh, well, that's not too important. At this level, everything makes a difference, including the coating that you put on the material before you paint it, including the chemistry of the resin that you use to glue. There is nothing that doesn't make a difference. The execution in the crossover network is crucial. You can change values of any individual component by less than 1%, and the magic can be lost. The wiring that we use, which is a time-coherent wiring, and it is point-to-point wiring, no printed circuit boards in our crossovers, sounds better. If you find, for example, that twisting the wires at a certain twist ratio improves the time domain behavior, it adds more time. Somebody who would spend a lot of time listening to solders and things like that might be considered half bubble off plumb. You can hear differences in solders in controlled listening tests, and when you add up the total number of solder connections in a complete speaker system, it adds up big time. We could build speakers out of a quality grade of MDF that would look just like the ones that we build out of X material. And our full manufacturing cost would be dramatically less. The material has to have hardness. I mean, it has to be hardness almost to the point of steel. If you use a softer material on which to mount your drivers, you will compress the dynamics. If you go to a material that has very little intrinsic internal damping, then you end up with ringing. The material, like X material, it's very hard, and yet it damps almost outrageously well. Gee, it'd be nice if the material were conveniently machinable. It traps heat. Unlike metal, which conducts heat away from the machine bit, it can damage expensive bits at a horrifying rate. We've talked about the time domain and the alignment of the leading edges of transients. These aren't just, well, move it a little bit here and move it a little bit there. It has to be done very precisely, aligned to within less than 20 millionths of a second. And to get that kind of alignment requires precision. If you're trying to achieve the goal of communicating at the state-of-the-art level the emotional content of that music, all the audible clues that are involved there, there's a lot more to it. One discovery that you make may improve the sound 0.5%, but it may be very hard to implement. Do you want to pay that price? Here, the answer is always yes. Always.